Hey, what's up everyone? I didn't realize that I wasn't recording at the beginning of the video, but let me tell you what I did. What I did was first I applied tips, which are extensions, and then after that I cut them down to a square shape. And then after that I filed it with the drill to make sure there's no bump and make sure that it's smooth. So when we apply the powder, there won't be a big bump on top of the nails. Key is not to go towards the cuticle too much and only go 90% all the way up to the cuticle. And you want to go back over it a few times and make sure all the glue is even. And then tap. Too much, dip it back out, return, only 90% of the nail. Make sure the finger is pointed down, not all the way down, not all the way up, just right. Tap it off. .90 or 90 degree. So stupid.
90%.
90%. You want to go back over the nail. Evenly. See how the brush is flat? Dip. And then you want to wipe off the excess every time you put a coat. Go around the cuticle and then once on top. Around the cuticle, once on top. Now you want to repeat on the second coat. But with the second coat, you might want to put a little more glue since you're already putting it on top of the powder. So that powder is going to absorb some of that glue. So you just want to put a tad bit more, but not too much. Now you don't want to put too much glue on the nail because if you do, it's not going to dry the powder right, so it'll look bumpy. Alright, and then we're going to repeat like we did on step 1. Around the cuticle once underneath, around the cuticle once underneath. Repeat that for each nail. Now, since we're going to cap it with the clear, we don't want to contaminate the clear with powder, with different kind of powder. So we're going to have to remove all the powder from underneath the fingers. Alright. Now with base, you don't have to go too much with it. Just go get some coverage on the nails. Okay. Now, since we finished with the other hand, we let that dry. Put activator in that hand. So we're going to do the same thing with this hand around the cuticle underneath. Now, save for the video. Now, capping is really important, especially when you do glitter, because all the powders in the glitter are not consistent in size. Now, this is activator number 3. Activator is used to dry the polish immediately. So what you want to do is you want to get a lot of activator on there, but you don't want it too much to draw on, you know, the cuticle area. So down the middle first is what I do, and then I go around the cuticle area. So now, after all that, we have finished applying the base on the nails. Now the next step is to file them. So what you're going to do is you want the file to be cuffed underneath. You don't want it too up or too down. So you want to make sure it's cuffed underneath. And the reason why we're doing this is because so less likely to have the dip nails to lift. And you want to get underneath. You want to go up like this a little bit and then underneath. Same thing with the other side. And then you want to go ahead and file the entire nail. Now my client, she wants square rounded, so you don't want to make it too square. So once you file the edges, you want to go once or twice over the corners to get your shape. Now we're going to repeat on every finger. Going to go towards the up and then down. So we really get that uniform look. And then you want to get underneath towards the corners. Repeat how I cuff it in there. It like locks in there. I can move my file. So what you're gonna do is file until you get that excess powder off, and then you want to go tilt it up a little bit so you shape it. So the different techniques that you use to file the nails is, what the first technique you want is to go underneath the nail to get rid of the excess powder, and to do that is you don't want to go up like this at first. You want to go down here so you get the clean look. You see the difference between this, see how it's bumpy kind of going over the cuticle area, and the difference with this is straight because you took off the excess powder. Now time for the shaping. Shaping, you can go up a little bit and then go towards the corner. So what we already did this way, right? You want to go towards the corner to make sure it doesn't, so the nail looks straight and squared. And then we're gonna do the free edge, and then a couple files on the corners so they don't look too rounded. Now I got the finished look on that finger. Okay. Now repeat. Now, a lot of times on the nail, towards the cuticle area, it kind of rounds out a little bit. So what you want to do is, you want to really get in there towards the cuticle. So sometimes the cuticle area is thinner and then it expands more towards the end. So the only way to fix that is to file it really good. So what you want to do is you want to file this down first, so you get that kind of that symmetrical look, and then it's still rounded right here. So what you want to do is you want to just file on top and then go back down, so you get that really, really linear look. Then go back on the free edge, and then once or twice in the corners. And that is the look for the filed nails. Boom, boom, boom. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, we're gonna switch hands. Now we're gonna repeat on this hand since this hand was already dried enough. Now with powder, don't be afraid to file. But powder is different from, you know, gel and all your other regular polishes. So you're not really hurting the powder. Now the longer that you do these kind of nails, you sooner realize all the little stuff that'll help you out, such as like hints and shortcuts. You realize that because you learn different techniques and different ways to either shape the nails, cut the nails, drill the nails, apply the base on, and then you learn all these little tricks. Now everyone has different techniques. So what you want to do is, the best technicians they don't do what everyone else does. They do what they're comfortable with. So anyways, so we're going to repeat on the nails, filing and whatnot. Whatnot's Berry Farm. Coughing on me, spitting on me, but she's my client, so I can't say much. You just gotta go along with it. Say, oh, would you like some water? But honestly, that you don't really care. You just offer it because now this one get a little workup because you want to look real nice, honey, real nice.
Real nice.
We make it look nice. So sorry, you guys, for the interruption. So, almost done with the filing. So another tip that I learned, you guys, is that when you have a really annoying ass client, you can just get in there and just really
take shit.
Okay, so you want to make the nails look really nice, really shaped, really uniform, very symmetrical, and most importantly, you want to do the shape that they prefer. If they prefer squared, make it square. Don't make it rounded and as such. Now, if you want to make it really squared, what you need to focus on is the free edge. Now, the free edge, you don't want to keep going like this. You want free edge, you want to keep going side to side. That's most important. And then you want to go to the side. You don't do that the entire time. So you get that really, really, really squared look, but rounded edges. Now with the file I'm using, it's less rough. The reason why I like to use that because it kind of somewhat protects the powder. But you can use any file you want. You can use the really gritty ones or the less gritty ones, but that's totally up to you. Whatever you're comfortable with. Just make sure that you really, really, really get something that you're comfortable with to make sure the shape of the nails is how the customer wants it. Okay. So now our next step is to drill. Now the drilling part is one of the most crucial parts in doing dipping powder. Reason being is because once you apply the powder, it does become a little thick. So you don't want that. No. Where's my drill? My drill bit.
Oh, here it is. Extra fine.
See, my client has very good eyes. Wow, she does.
Yeah, buddy.
Now, another thing that's really crucial is some people mistake, since you're doing powder and the powder, it could really, really have the color come off due to the drill being too fast, but that's not the case. A lot of the times when you do drilling, you don't want it too slow, because if you do it too slow, it drags the polish. The slowness just, it sinks in with the powder and then it drags it off. So if you do it somewhat faster, you won't have that problem. Now back to the nails. So what you want to do is you want to be really, really light and gentle. You want to go down to the right side of the cuticles first, whatever that's called, I don't care. And then you want to go around the cuticle, but you don't want to go too much towards the cuticle. And then you want to go over like this. Now what you don't want to do is, you don't want to go like this, because a lot of times people will accidentally use this tip and it'll make streaks, and you do not want that. So the best way to avoid the streaks is to have it flat and cover the whole nail. And then you want to go back over. You want to do this like 3 times to make sure that the powder is not too thick. And also you do not want to do it too much, because this is a really light color. But you want to get every single inch of the powder, so everything is very, very smooth and flat and not bumpy. Now we're going to repeat in all nails on both hands. I'm going to go over. Now when you're using the drill, it does take time to get used to the drill, but that's another thing that you want to practice on to be comfortable with. Around the cuticle area, and then you want to go around. Now another thing is, a lot of people mistake. Sometimes they'll get not carried away, but they'll kind of go too firmly on the end, so you'll have the little, like, it's kind of more transparent than the other parts of the nail. So the best thing to do is, instead of you going down like this, you want to go around the cuticle, and then you want to go like this. You want to use the top half of the drill once you're down here. You don't want to go like this, because it's too rough on the tip of the nails. So you want to use the top half. See how I'm using the top half? And I'm not gonna, it's not too much on the tip of the nails, because people go like this, you're just rubbing against the nail. Okay, so you want to do it again. You want to be real gentle, real soft. Make sure you get all parts of the nail. And then go here. And then go back up. So you get that really, really smooth look. Now we're going to repeat.
Make it look so easy.
It was not easy at first, believe me. It was really hard to learn. That's why it's just something you gotta learn to be comfortable with. Everything is about your, something that, it's like driving. You gotta be comfortable.
Takes practice.
Yeah. And then boom. Now what I really got used to doing is really fast with the drill, and it's good to be fast with the drill, because if you're too slow, you'll get craters and stuff like that. So what I do is I go from side to side really fast, just like this. You just gotta get used to it. You know how I block my finger from going too much or too, little. So like that. Same thing, keep going around the cuticle. Now with the cuticle area, you don't want to tilt it up like this, because you're going to be indenting the cuticle area and you might cause a little pain, and then you don't want to do that. Now to avoid that is, you can tilt your on the sides, because the sides, it has a deeper crease. So it's okay to do it like that, but then once you go to the cuticle area, you want to flatten out your drill. and then go around, and then go back up around the hair, and then side to side. Now you want to repeat this 3 times so you really get the, you know, make the nail look really smooth, because you're not going to make the nail really smooth the first time. Side to side. And one more time, you can tilt your drill up to really get in there. Now you really want to get in these areas because these areas tend to be a little higher. So you want to kind of just really softly, like make it like glide the drill, and then do the cuticle area, and then do the same thing here, and then side to side. Switch hands. That's the look. Very smooth, very nice looking.
Getting customers.
Yeah, she get those customers that you just want to kill. Anyway, so as I was saying, and then you want to go side to side, cause baby I'm walking from side to side. That's a song. You really want to get into these little corners. Now the best way to do that is you want to kind of get in the groove of kind of just maneuvering your way into there. Everything is the way you angle the brush or the drill. Oh, careful, sister. So go side to side, and you never want to go like this, because that will, first of all, make it not even. So you want to use the top half of your drill to, you know, to drill it. Okay, bitches? Okay.
Okay, bitches.
And then, you know, around the cuticle area, downwards, up, see how I move my drill? Everything comes natural. You know, go to the sides, around the cuticle, make sure your drill is flat, and then tilt it up. You want to go around there, and then go side to side. Careful. Side to side. And then you want to repeat 2 more times. Now I know you guys can see how this part is a little higher, it's a little hump here. So what you want to do is you really want to focus on drilling that part. But like I said, do not go like this. Use the top half of your drill to focus more on this part here, side to side, evenly. And then you want to go back up and do the whole nail.
Is that my drill making that noise?
That's Tommy's phone.
Oh. I was like, oh shit, he's getting ready to take it down.
See, now you want to really go over this area. So now, as you can see, the hump is gone. It's very smooth. You might want to go one more time, and boom, boom, boom. Side to side. Now when you do that, you can go back up and go back down. You want to repeat around the cuticle area. Tilt your drill up and tilt it down. Tilt it up. And then back and forth, left to right, and get the entire nail. And then you want to do that one more time. You really want to get into that cuticle area. And then side to side. Boom, boom, boom. Now the next step is that you want to buff the nails out so you really clean around these areas and make it more extra smooth. So go left to right and then down on the edges. And then to really help the free edge of the nail, you really want to take this and go underneath to get any of the excess powder off. So you want to repeat that on all the nails. Alright, so she's gonna go wash her hands. We will be back. Gonna take a little break and we'll see you guys soon.